I'm ready for my close-up. We got the Merlot. It's about 12 o'clock at night. Happy 6th-month birthday, Peace Legend Kane. Let's talk about it. Samaj, this is your moment, your only moment, what are you? Gonna do in the moment, we are in the moment, no. Cause we only get this one life to live, so true. To live it up for me. Oh, gimme. Hey everybody, it's your girl Aliya Ray, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Aliya Ray, and today I'm actually going to give you guys a different kind of video. Well, tonight, I have my wine, we're going to talk. I'm doing my very first story time, and we're going to take a little walk through my entire 6 months of motherhood. I actually been really excited about putting this video together. I've been wanting to talk about my experience with you all because I wasn't able to record my birth. I wanted to do it so bad. I had all these ideas. I wanted to record my birth. I wanted to record the packing of my bag, all kind of things. But unfortunately, it didn't happen. So I'm gonna tell you why. We're gonna get into it. If you guys are new to my page, welcome to my page. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, thank you guys for tuning in. You guys will hear all kinds of different fiddles and music and stuff in the background because Peace is still up and he's over there playing. He's content while I'm over here talking and sipping my wine. So let's talk about how I was in labor and how I did not know I was in labor. So September 5th was a Sunday, and I was actually going to be closing out of my salon, me going on maternity leave and having a meeting with my team just to make sure that everyone was on the same task, on the same base. So that Sunday I woke up and I was feeling sick. I just wasn't really feeling good, and as cliche as it is, I really felt like I had to get something out of me. But for whatever reason, it was not clicking to me, like, what if you're like in labor, you know? So I just kept going on as if I was like just not feeling well. So I went to work. I had an interview that day, and I wasn't even able to do the interview that well. I had a cover on. I was like really cold. I was irritable. I went through it, but it was bad. And I kept telling my girls, like, man, I'm not feeling good. So needless to say, all of that, I ended up canceling the shop meeting and ended up leaving home about 4 p.m. When I got home, I was just like very irritable. I didn't want to be bothered. I went into the bed immediately, and I had already called my doctor. My doctor pretty much was just telling me, like, nothing's really wrong with you. Just document anything and let us know if you feel any worse. So, once I came home, I just had to take a nap. I laid down, I woke up, and I was still feeling ill. And at this point, when I woke back up, I was having like mild cramping, but nothing severe, not even as bad as like a period cramp. My mom was over here and she was cooking and stuff because I was feeling down. And I came out to join the rest of the party, but I was still like not having it. I laid down with DeAndre on the couch. It was probably about like 9 o'clock p.m. And I woke back up at 11 p.m. and I had to use the restroom. So when I went to the bathroom, I had like this, like, not so much of it was a pain, but it more or less felt like I had to poop. So I'm like, what the fuck is that, you know? Woo. I come back out to the living room. After that wasn't successful, but I had that pain. And when I tried to sit down, I had the same pain again. This exact same couch, y'all. I'm like, oh, what the fuck is that? So now I'm thinking to myself, like, is it time? But I'm not due for another 2 weeks. My original due date was September 18th. And considering like I carry so well and I was listening to everybody else, I kind of thought that I was going to be like someone that came late. You know, I didn't think I was going to be early at all. So now I go back to the bathroom. When I go to the bathroom, I wipe and have blood. Now I'm scared as shit. I see blood. I'm thinking like, what the hell is wrong with me? What's wrong with my baby? So I race back out here and Dre is still asleep. And when I go to sit back down again, the pain is more or less forward. So I'm like, oh my God, DeAndre, like I think it's time. So he wakes up, he's startled. And DeAndre had an incident probably like a week before that where his arm was messed up. So well, I say that is that now that we're getting together to kind of like go to the hospital, I'm like, I'm contracting. And I'm like breaking down, and he can't really hold me because his dominant arm is at a failure point right now. So he calls the ambulance. And the ambulance are pretty much putting him through, you about to deliver your son. I'm on this couch with my legs up. I'm having contraction every 2 to 3 minutes. And when they tell you you're going to feel that shit, y'all, it's a different kind of pain. It's a pain that you cannot really explain. To this day, I can say that it still hurts, but I don't really remember it. So the ambulance come and they're asking me the exact same questions they were asking him. Dre and the ambulance guys start arguing because he's like, get her out of there. These are the same questions. She's in pain. That guy thought he could talk to this man like he was the goddamn man in the house. You know, Dre went ham on him. When I get carried down or whatever, I get into the ambulance and they rush me to McGee Hospital. McGee Hospital, they come in and get me. They're very, very prompt. They're respectful. I'm screaming. I'm embarrassed. I feel like, oh my God, I'm the only woman that does this. They're like, Aliya, this happens all the time. And when they checked me out, I'm 4.5 centimeters dilated. I was going through labor all day and just didn't think it. And I know you're kind of like, girl, you was pregnant. You had 2 more weeks left. But like, I just kept thinking I was going to be late or on time, just not early. So 4.5 centimeters in, and they're like, do you want an epidural? I'm like, absolutely. Shout out to anyone that goes natural. But that pain was so bad. And like throughout my entire pregnancy, I gained 15 pounds and I gained more weight at the end. I carry so well. Thank God, you know, I didn't have any kind of like stretch marks. I had a little bit of sickness in the beginning of the pregnancy, but through it out, I did pretty good. So the worst part is right now. So we get into the room where I'm going to deliver Peace, and they're checking through everything. And come to find out, I did have a fever. So the fever symptoms I was having earlier were definitely accurate. And Peace decides that he wants to poop. So that means they got to get Peace the hell up out of me. So my midwife tells me, like, we have to have a talk. And when he says those words, I'm like, watch, they say I have to have an emergency C-section. So she tells me that, and I'm like, okay. But as the epidural is already kicking in, every time I have a contraction, I can already feel like he's coming out. And I'm telling this to my mom who got there by then, like, hey, it feels like every time I have a contraction, he's getting lower and lower. So when the midwife checks me, sure enough, Peace's head is like right there, ready to go. I pushed Peace out in 6 minutes. We started at 5:25 a.m. and he was out by 5:31 a.m.
Look at that gorgeous. Yeah, that'll round out.
Oh, you did so good, Lee. So good.
Hi, sweet boy. All right, we're going to cut right here.
In the middle?
Yeah. Kind of rubbery.
Oh,
Beautiful job, Beth.
beautiful,
Beautiful
beautiful.
job. All right, we're going to take him over there and see the
Oh.
dogs.
Okay.
Yeah, the baby. He's here.
Fantastic. You did amazing. What a mess, though.
Crazy. I had my son 2 weeks early. I was in labor all day. My birth was 6 minutes. First time mom. Let's do a little toast to that, all right? Birth. How did I feel about it? Well, I had an epidural, so obviously it wasn't as bad as someone that went natural. And it was basically like a lot of pressure. The epidural, it did help me, but if I probably was there sooner or had it sooner, it might have been a little more better, I guess, because the pain was still bad. Every contraction I was still yelling out. It just wasn't like a sharp pain. It was like a hard pain. If that makes sense, is how I want to describe it. When I pushed Peace out, I was like in complete disbelief. Like he was like a octopus, just like shot out. And I'm like, oh my freaking God. Like while I was pregnant, all I could keep thinking about was pregnancy. I was nervous. I was wondering how this was all going to happen, how he was going to look, how Dre's going to feel. Just, you have all these thoughts and you're like, what the hell is going to happen? And when it was happening and when it did happen, I'm like, this is what the fuck it is.
Okay, can you make sure we have like some actual placenta?
He's okay.
I don't know. What is that, bro?
He's
Like
okay.
extra digits. We see it.
She said they see it. It's probably what I had.
Now you are.
You ate some goat?
Can I call you back?
He got it on both fingers, yeah.
So what, do they take them off?
His nuts is swole.
Yeah, he'll follow up with surgery.
And I just remember me being in like a daze and a shock, like, whoa, you know, I wasn't really emotional. I wasn't too dramatic. I was just at a standstill for the most part. Dre's yelling in the background like, what's on his hands? What's on his hands? And I'm thinking like, what the fuck is on my son's hands? Well, Peace was born with extra digits. And Dre actually had one on one of his hands, and come to find out later that it's actually hereditary in African Americans. So from his father being one side, but I also found out that my grandfather, and my aunt both were born with them as well. So it pretty much runs hereditarily, and it is very popular in African Americans. Very funny because throughout my pregnancy, when I would go get sonograms and checkups, Dre would always say, "Does my son have all 10 fingers and toes?" So for him to come out with 12, that was hilarious.
You getting surgery? See your fingers one last time. You see it? So I can show you when you get older.
Tracks on his eye, and you just want to show that. He ended. If you're a real blunt.
Okay, Dad.
Trash ass.
Getting ready to move your hands like crazy.
We usually keep you guys about a half an hour just to monitor for bleeding. Okay.
You ready to box?
But he was a very healthy baby boy. 6 pounds, 1 ounce, 20 inches long, stinky. And we got so many compliments. Every nurse was like, "He's a really cute newborn." And I'm like, "What does that mean?" And they're like, "Because newborns can be very funny looking," respectfully. So shout out to my boy coming out looking cute. So I go through all of that. I need no stitches, y'all. No stitches. He didn't even tear me. Shoop. It was a piece of cake, I tell you guys. So now day one, I'm in the hospital still. I get some rest. I'm still in all the shock. They moved me to my room, and I went to McGee's Women's Hospital here in Pittsburgh. I want to say to anyone that is right now that's pregnant, or looking to where they want to have birth, I highly recommend it. It was great. They were prompt. I did have a couple of different series of nurses coming in and out, but as their shifts changed, they treated you as if they already knew you. They had your whole profile there. They didn't miss a beat. It was the whole packing my bag situation. I didn't even have my car seat yet, nor did I have my bag packed. But I had all the things for my bag laid out in Peace's room. So my mom had went and got his car seat, and DeAndre went and got all the things to put him in the bag. Now I was looking at all these Pinterest list of things you need in your bag and YouTubes, and I didn't need any of that. All I needed was change of clothes for myself, change of clothes for him, and some blankets. McGee's Women's Hospital gave me everything I would need, from the pads, the underwear, to that little soothing tub that helps you with incisions if you need them, or just to caretake of your vagina. They even had hats and receiving blankets and more blankets and anything you would need for the baby. So if unfortunately you don't have them, they take care of you. Received the push gift, gave me some carrots on my neck. Thank you, baby. Dre was there the entire time. He was super, super supportive. My mom came, Dre's moms came, Dre's sisters. Even though we were allowed to have one person, we got 2 people at the time during the whole COVID situation. We also stuck some people upstairs, but we got away with it. But it was all love, and I had my baby on Labor Day. Still to this day, I'm in a complete shock about it. In the hospital, they had me fill out all kinds of paperwork, for my pump to just his Social Security, birth certificate, all that kind of stuff. He was circumcised. He got one of his vaccines, and he was taking a G. He wasn't crying. They were saying he just wasn't crying like that. But what Peace did do was want to sleep with me. From the very first day that I had Peace, I wanted him to sleep with me, and I let him. And my nurse was like, "Don't do that. Let him sleep in bed with you," because they want babies to sleep on their back. I think it's kind of weird how they tell you not to lay on your back when you're pregnant, but babies have to be on their back when they come out. So Peace slept with me the first night, and she's like, "Don't do that. Put him in his side. Let us watch him." But I was just so obsessed. And for months on, I could not lay Peace down by himself. I had to let him sleep with me. He wanted to lay with me. And honestly, we just broke him out of that. Now I could lay Peace independently down in his basket or in the bed by himself, or even in his crib. But for a while, it was and he wasn't annoying about it. He just, when you put him down, he wanted to lay with you. Then I discovered he didn't ever want to lay on his back. He liked to lay on his front. So when I would lay him down at all, I was most successful when he laid on the front of his tummy. So, I never let Peace lay by himself to say, you know, he's always slept with us. And Dre would sleep on the couch sometimes. Like, he pretty much gave us a lot of space. The first week home was pretty interesting. It was all new adjustments. I was very nervous. I had a lot of mind things going on. It's crazy. Like, I even shared with my friends, and they share with me a lot of their stories. Like, you think of some of the worst things with your child. Like, I have a balcony in my condo, and I would think about, like, what if he fell off of it? And then you guys are like, what the fuck? But, like, I had a friend that said she thought about knives. Like, you just think about some of the worst things that can happen to your baby, because I believe we're at this place where we want to make sure that protects it. It'll do anything to protect them. So you think about some of the things that you have around you that can actually harm them. And mine was like the balcony. We have dogs, thought about what if the dog were to bite them, you know, things like that. And like, I'm pretty much daydreaming of my reaction. Like, I would fucking kill somebody. I was rushed to the hospital again that Friday because I was very much constipated. I had the shit. And my doctors never sent me home with constipation medicine. And I'm a new mom. I don't know that I need that. I don't know that I'm going to be backed up like that. And basically, I woke up one morning in excruciating pain because I was backed up. And I felt like I had to poop, you know. So when I got to the hospital, they had gave me some type of, you know, pill or whatever that basically made my stool soft and came right out of me. And I was fine after that. So they sent me home with all types of different shit that made me poop. But that was funny, and I wish I would have vlogged that. Like, these are things that I wish I would have got. You know, I got some things, but I didn't get that. Like, girl went to the hospital because she had this shit. Make sure you guys are taking your, what is that stuff called? Stuff for your bowels, basically. Other than that, guys, my first week home was cool, and then I got used to it.
Little boy. Hi. Hi. Are you home? Are you home? Say hi. Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. This is my brothers, and they're going crazy. Peace. What's up, Peace? You're so silly. Hey, what's going on?
You know what I'm saying? In 3 weeks, Dre and I went to a concert. Mom watched Peace for the very first time by herself. Breastfeeding was going very well. I got my Medela pump probably like 5 days. And both of my boobs were doing great. Today, my left boob is my dominant breast. And I do often mix Similac with Peace's milk because once I got back to work, I kind of got maybe on the dry side, and I want to say my body was more stressed out, and we'll get more into that as the video goes on. But I had to supplement Similac as well as breast milk when Peace was about 3 months, and I still been doing it. But we have better days, like days that I'm working. Peace probably gets 2 to 3 bottles of Similac. He's with me, nothing but breast milk, because I can latch him, and then I'm able to like do a little more. But I had both breasts working in the beginning. So my right boob, I just never really gave it that much attention. And breastfeeding moms or ones that want to be, it's good to train your breasts. You know, keeping that 2 hour, either you're pumping or you have them latched, letting them know what's up, come on out. Well, I wasn't really doing that with my right boob because the left was just way more comfortable. So I pretty much blamed the fault of why my right breast wasn't doing what it needed to be doing. Anywho, pretty much I would always recommend breastfeeding. It's the best thing you can give these babies. It's not really that hard, but it does take a lot of patience and a lot of trust in yourself. You know, I think people can just give up really easy, and it could just seem a little difficult. But once you keep doing it and just take one day at a time, it actually becomes easier. My goal was to do 6 months, which means I would be done tomorrow breastfeeding. But the fact is that since I now supplement the Similac, it's not hard at all, you know. Now I have a Mom Cozy, and I'll make sure I leave all that stuff in the info section. But the Mom Cozy is portable, and it's actually the best pump ever. I love it. So when I'm at work, I just pump. I power pump. I even still get milk out of my right breast. It's not completely dry. So by the time I come home, I may have about 3 to 4 bottles of milk already, and it just starts us off. So I try to really give him as much breast milk as possible. And the reason why I decided I want to keep going is because I felt like I cheated. Like, I wanted to give him nothing but breast milk for the first 6 months. Since I didn't, I'm like, I'm gonna just keep going. And since it's easy for me and I'm figuring it out, and now it's just kind of like my daily routine, why not? First 6 weeks, it went well. You know, I'm just getting used to being a mom. I did have a moment where I was in Peace's room holding Peace because Peace was like crying, and I was like really, really tired. So I started crying, you know, and I was just like, I just want to go to sleep, you know. But that was the only time that I felt like that. For the most part, Peace pretty much sleeps well through the night. He still does. He may wake up twice for like a quick feed. So I just quickly latch him and that's it. Not even like a full feed, that's normal. And until this day, I still have that behavior with him. So I'm very blessed on that end. Peace will get up about 6 or 7 in the morning, quick feed, and go right back to sleep. He's pretty much trained like me. We'll sleep till about 10, 11 o'clock at night. 10, 11 o'clock in the morning. The only thing is that Peace goes to sleep late. As you can see, it's 12:42 a.m. and he's up. But he did take a nap. Well, I'll say it was his nap, but he did go to sleep about 10:30, and now he's up.
This is really awesome shit. It's 5:21 in the morning. He's been up for like the last 2 hours. I don't know why his schedule just shifted like this or why he's up excited as hell. I'm so tired. For the most part, I get sleep at these hours, so it's just my luck because I decided to have a drink. And I think he really wanted to go on my nipple. It soothed him more. I pumped enough to supply him, but I think that was my problem. He's on his way.
Normally, Peace, from then until now, he will go to sleep between like 12 and 1. And it pretty much worked for me because I wasn't working at all. So anytime it does get difficult is that now that I'm back working, I may want to go to bed a little bit earlier. But honestly, I can't complain because I'm pretty much a night bird. So that's probably he just following my same energy.
What are you doing? You're good.
It's the mom boss for me. She said,
Period.
You cannot have sex. So that wasn't a problem in our relationship, but I tell you so much, I know Dre couldn't wait to go ahead and get back at it. So when I did become 6 weeks and I went to my 6 weeks post-op and they're like, you look wonderful, everything's healing very well. They're like, you are free to do so. We kind of baby stepped into it. And that very first time was like,
what the fuck was that? You know?
It does hurt, you know, but Lord, oh, it felt so good. It did. I don't know if it was like because it was a me time for sure or no, shit was fire. One thing I could not wait to start doing was working out, you know. Now I snapped back. I got hella compliments about that and I did snap back, and breastfeeding also does help you lose weight, guys. So it's another token in breastfeeding. But I snapped back a lot to the point that I was actually more smaller than I was before I got pregnant. It's very important when it comes to breastfeeding. Like you need to really make sure you're drinking your water and just eating because you're giving off, you know, stuff to your offspring. And I was eating, but I didn't eat anything too heavy for real. Like I didn't really, you know, I pretty much was following a pretty nice diet. 8 weeks was the very first time I got into the gym, and I was working out at our local gym. And that was the first time that I started spotting. And I was thinking like I'm having a period, but it is very well known that you don't really get a period during at least the first 3 months of breastfeeding. So I called my midwife and I got in touch with another one, not the one that I spoke to, about that. And she's like, it is possible. You can get a period. Maybe you are. And excuse me, the other one was like, Aliya, maybe you're just doing too much. Like your body's getting back to this now. So you going to working out. You may not think you're going that hard, but maybe you are going hard on your body. So that was the problem, guys. I was going really hard on my body. And I end up just like spotting really light. So I also kept having like, every time I would go, when I would go pee, I felt like my bank wasn't. So during my pregnancy, guys, I had 4 total UTIs. And so I was thinking like, am I having a UTI? Like it's hurting, but I wasn't really having any pain. I would just have like a really off smell of my urine. I did get a fever-like symptoms one time, or I just went for a checkup and the doctors would let me know that I had one. So I called my doctor. I let her know because after about 4 days of me going through this pain, I'm like, okay, I need to call. Something's wrong. And she's like, maybe it's because of the constipation lead, you know. I'm like, all right, well, it's getting worse. They put me in for an appointment for the following Tuesday, and it's Wednesday. I ended up going to the emergency room on Thursday and come to find out a UTI. I mean, they did all kind of sonogram checks, really trying to figure out what's wrong because the last urine I had, they didn't even check for UTI, but they should have. So that's the only part where McGee fucked up with it. Should have really checked for the UTI and it didn't, but I ended up having one. So y'all, I probably had this UTI for like 8 weeks. 2 days in the medicine, the pain went right away, and until today, I'm actually doing great. After that. Then guys, I pretty much got back to the thing. I got this thing handling. Peace is healthy. He's doing well. We're over here at First Steps in Robinson for his pediatrician. They love him and he's doing well. We're at Peace's 2-month checkup. He is 10 pounds, 13 ounces, almost 11 pounds, 22 inches. So that means breast milk is doing amazing. He's doing amazing. He's looking at me like, who's mommy talking to? Yeah. Today probably was his best appointment. He's normally crying and going crazy, but he was actually very happy on the weigh table today, weren't you? Yeah, because he's a big boy. I'm a big boy. He's getting big. He's getting big. He's growing healthy. I'm doing an awesome job in breastfeeding. I'm back in the gym. I'm doing Joy Chavis's workout plans. Like, it's working out. Life's good over here. And now I go back to work. And I had to go back to work, guys. Business was doing terrible. I mean, my team was holding things down. And I got a lot of reviews back, and then it was doing some shit it shouldn't have been doing. And I just also feel like business left with me, too. Like, it was awful. My numbers were freaking terrible. I was dipping in my savings, and I'm just like, I'm going to go fucking broke. Like, this is terrible. So I ended up going back to work 2 months earlier than I planned, and that was complete stress on my body. Like I mentioned before, I believe that had a lot to do with the supply of my milk changing, to my body being stressed. I mentally was stressed. I feel like I was very irritable here at home. I'm trying to balance a new mom, working, and still being a girlfriend. Like, it was really taking a toll on me. And a lot of time I was very mute about a lot of stuff, you know, just trying to just go through everything. But I was really like going through it. And I'm not even going to lie. Until today, business is still really hard on me. I'm still getting used to doing all of this, you know. And at this point, my son is first. So the business that was once my very number one top priority has become second. And you never know what can change. Like, Peace had got a cold one time and I had to call off. Next thing you know it, there's girls on Google's Google reviews, leaving reviews about us not being a serious business and call offs. And it's like, damn, like, my son's sick. But that don't matter to nobody else. Because the only people that fucking matter are those that need you at that time. It hurt my feelings for real, you know, because like customer service and supplying my clients is very, very important to me. So whatever, we ain't gonna get into all that. But here I am dealing with a lot of this stuff, you know, getting back to business. So now I've gotten a little more better at it. I've had to really jump in the salon. You know, I was working every single day, and I still am pretty much working every day except for the weekends. I'm taking advantage of working Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and off the other days. But I sometimes often come in because I can use the money and the business needs me. PC, gotta get Peace, guys. I got you. All right, so Peace has joined us, guys. All right. So where was I at? I'm talking about breastfeeding, back to work. And so I was saying, it's still been pretty much a challenge. The question is, am I going through postpartum? And I can't really answer that. Like, I'm in a comfortable relationship, health relationship, lovable relationship. I love DeAndre. I love my son. Nothing is regrettable. I have the ultimate support from my family and the friends that I still do have. But I think that it's really been challenging with like myself. I still have moments where it's like, it's hard to get me together. I kind of fell off. I fell off with like working out and eating right. And so I don't feel myself like, I'm not feeling myself for real. You know what I mean? Like, and the fact that like I'm working on my whole public figure and the YouTube things, it goes hand in hand when looking good in your clothes and feeling confident all plays a part. So I'm going through that right now, honestly, guys. And some are like, Aliya, you look amazing. But look amazing because I just had a baby. I have to get myself back on track with me working out, a nice morning routine, a good routine throughout the day, you know, organization with my child, as well as like getting all things structured in business. I've had to let go of an employee that I love, but it no longer was working for my business. I've had employees come in and go and not give a fuck about what you're going through, you know? So as far as me filling positions in to me actually being on maternity leave, people quitting and just real selfish shit. But if it works for them, that's what's up. That's what they're supposed to do. You know what I mean? So you don't take it personal, but really hurt your feelings because you're going through it. You know what I mean? And you kind of need them right now. You need them to fill in the void of what's missing and all that. Business is tough. It's tough without a child. So just being a new mom and just getting used to this whole transition and just trying to like fill in the pieces that are missing, it's been tough. But I am very thankful for this experience because it has taught me a lot. Like being on my maternity leave, it taught me so much of what my business still needs. It needs a lot more structure. I still play a very heavy part in my business, and it's time to level up, you know, putting my foot down, letting go of negative shit in the salon, letting go of people that are no longer feasible to your business, regardless if they feel like if they're bringing money in or not. If they're damaging other areas, let it go. And I gotta say, I've been doing really good at eliminating the bullshit and just coming up with different ideas and things. I'm running different campaigns for prom. I have a press online I'm working on. I'm also working on a boutique business with my boyfriend's sister. So I just been really motivated, and that came out of nowhere. Like I actually was watching Ming Lee. I said this in my last vlog. I was watching Ming Lee's postpartum video, and she really much motivated me a lot because it is also feel like there's someone else that they're going through things, you know, maybe different stories, but like, this is real. Like when you become a new mom and when you just have a kid, if you're not a new mom, it's just like, it sets you back. You have all these hormones and you just have all these different emotions and you're just trying to shape yourself in. And with myself, it's like, I'm doing that and I'm trying to keep it going. But I had to remind myself, I'm a bad bitch. You know, I had to remind myself that you got this shit started. Like, you know, I got to remind myself that you got it. And with that being said, I'm really motivated right now. And I'm really excited to see where I'm at in business and how I'm looking physically this summer even, you know. So those are some of the goals and things that I'm working on. Exactly right. You have the most supportive grandmas in the world. Miss Carol and my mom are both very supportive. They watch Peace endlessly. They both watch him a lot. My mom gets him a lot throughout the week while I'm at work because she only lives about 10 minutes from us. This is also my mom's first grandchild. This is Miss Carol's 10th. And my mom is ultimately excited. My grandma, it too. So it's all love, you know. My father and I, we're kind of working on a relationship, and that's pretty much new to you, but old to me. And hopefully throughout the years, or out this year maybe, you know, we can both go on the same page and he could play more of a better part with my son. I'm real open about shit on this, ain't I? But why not be? We're pushing through. So as far as social media goes and like the whole public figure thing and Dre's sports life, we have endless support from them people as well. So that's very much appreciated. Thank you guys. We still have gift cards left from the baby shower. Like, you know, it's dope. And people love Peace, man. Peace is definitely a character. It's lots and lots of personality, and it's definitely people are watching it, and it's amazing. Like I watched a lot of people's kids grow up, and now people are watching mine. I still cannot believe my mom, y'all. It's fucking crazy. Some of the most memorable moments of Peace's first 6 months gotta be when he threw up the peace sign. He's a fucking genius. You're a genius. That was crazy. Like he literally mimics me do it. And I had actually recorded that because he had did it before in the bathroom. And let me try to do it again. And when he did, I was like ecstatic about it. And everyone else was like, what the fuck is a genius? I'm like, it's genius. Like he's going to be, I can feel it. Like Peace is going to be something amazing when he grows up. I can already tell.
Hey, Mufasa. Oh my God. You better kill it. You better kill it. Show me something.
Stiggy, what are you doing? Outside of giving birth, very memorable. You don't forget about it. That was something that he did that really, something I'll never forget about. Another thing. Come on, dude. Come on, dude. Mommy's almost done. Mommy's almost done. Another thing that Peace does, I'll never forget, is he crosses his feet, his legs. He does it all the time. It's like his comfort zone. I could have him like dangle it in the air. He's going to cross his feet. it's just like this cute stance, twinkling his toes. And to come to find out, Dre's dad used to do that. It's crazy when you have a child that's like new to the world and they pick up so many characteristics of you and your significant other as well as family members, you know. It's hilarious. So I gotta be crossing his feet, the peace sign. He just recently fell off the bed. And I'm not saying that like, oh my God, it has to happen, but it happens, right? Everyone told me like, Aliya, it's gonna happen, relax. Now, he actually fell in between my bed and the bassinet. He was like, stuck down there with his feet dangling. And he wasn't crying, but I pulled him up so fast, me being scared, that he started to like, but I think I scared him more than anything. But let's just say I'm looking forward to the rest of his life and just as he gets to, you know, growing and glowing. Peace is not walking yet. He's not even crawling, but he is in his walker. He's sitting all the way up. He's tumbling. He is getting big. You know, we go to his 6-month checkup next week, so we'll get to like weigh in and see how tall he's getting. They're pretty much assuming he's going to be a tall kid. His dad is 6'5", I'm 5'6", so I wouldn't be surprised that he will be short, but we do have very short people in our families, both of us, so we'll see what happens. Do I want more kids? Yes, I want more kids. But I'd love to be done by 35. Was let you guys know that I'm okay with having another kid. I would like to have another kid, and I would love for it to be a girl, but if it's a boy, dope for Peace to have another brother. I would like just one more kid, and I would love to have my child probably, or I wouldn't mind getting pregnant when Peace turns 1. Michaela and I, my sister, her and I are 2 years apart, and I think it's really dope, you know, how we're like close in age or whatever. We're a lot different and distant now because she doesn't live here in Pittsburgh anymore, but we grew up very, very close, and I wouldn't mind that for my kids. At the time when I was like going through all my contractions and labor, I was like, no, the fuck, I won't. But it's like you kind of forget all about that pain and that experience besides the good part of the experience as you're like, hell yeah, I'll do it. So I'll definitely have more kids, guys. We're open to it, but I'm not judging it. My mom had Demira at 38, and I know people getting pregnant at 40 today. So it's not an age thing. It is for me and what I want to do with my career, my kids. I would love to be done by 35. And I'm not saying I'm going to get like my tubes tied or anything, but I would pretty much be on the safe side of like not have any more kids past then if I at least have one. We'll figure it out. I don't know. Sometimes it's just a blessing and you just don't know when it's going to happen. I did not know that peace was going to come, but I did. Like, I kind of knew like it's eventually going to happen if y'all don't figure this thing out, but I wasn't against it. I'm so happy I went through it because peace is amazing. I still to this day am like all in a daze of the fact that I'm with DeAndre as well as I am a mom and I'm Peace's mom. I think about it all the time. I even said to Dre, like, I can't believe I bagged you, or I can't believe we do it now, or I can't believe we do this together, because Dre and I, we started off as friends. We were friends, we started off as close friends since we were like in high school, and we have history in many areas, which is, you know, how we got here today. And we pretty much crossed the line, and when we crossed the line, it crossed it, you know, and that's a different story time. I don't know if I'm gonna do it or not. I don't know if I'm gonna let you guys get that deep in, but let's just say I fall to my heart. Glad I put myself first because I'm always pleasing other motherfuckers. That's a hard thank you. Let me see what else I want to say on this video. Some advice I have for you moms that are pregnant in preparation for your child. I think it's very important to get your bag together, make sure you have the car seat and things like that all a month ahead, because you never know. Once that last month of your countdown comes, it can happen any day. Clearly, I came 2 weeks early and didn't expect it. And I didn't have the car seat, the bag wasn't together. And although I had a support system to help me get those things, they weren't together. Pregnancy, really plan your maternity leave. Now, I did. I had nail classes that even helped me put money up at a more, more of a higher basis. I did things, but you never know how it's going to go. Be very open with people. Don't dismiss help. If you need something done, get it done. Sometimes if you're the kind of person like I am, I'm very independent, but there's a time not to be that independent, and that's when you are pregnant and in your maternity leave, because you need a little assistance, and it's okay to take that, So as you new moms, I will say, closed moms don't get fed. If you need help, say it, and keep yourself very organized, and one day at a time. It's not that bad. It is a blessing at the end of the day. If you're feeling awkward like I felt, maybe you want to go to the hospital, or just note to yourself, this may happen today, because I just thought that this wasn't going to happen, and it did. So for my next child, all this experience right here will definitely put me front line of the game, and I'll know what's coming up, you know? And I'm pretty sure it all is different, but at least I have some type of an experience, right? In the next 6 months of Peace's life, I'll be planning his first birthday, and he'll be getting into walking. He'll be getting into talking more. He'll be getting into eating hard food. He does breastfeed, ultimately. We do have him a little bit of cereal, and I've been letting him taste things such as mashed potatoes, yams, sucking on different fruits and stuff. And he is so intrigued by all these tastes. So I'm excited about moving on to curating his food. I plan to curate all of his like raw vegetables and stuff like that. I don't want to buy any baby food. That's what I want to do. I'm just excited about it. I love that my son loves the water. So for the summer, we have all kind of things we could do and get into as far as water activity. And I want to work hard and work less. Work smarter, not harder, and all those good sayings, because I'm so excited about really spending a lot of time with my child. And not that my son has to grow up in a nail shop. Like, I'm okay with him knowing that his mom does nails and she runs his business. They can see me working hard, but respectfully, he's a boy, and I don't want him to be like so much involved in it. And that's because I'm so always there, you know? So like this year, I'm really trying to make all kinds of investments and things for longevity, so that I could assure that I spend a lot of time with Peace and still making money and still sending him on off the best with the best educations and whatever it is that he wants and desires, he gets, because I'm working hard for him. He's definitely a lot of motivation. Peace has doubled my motivation. I've always been a very hard worker, dedicated in what I do. It's never been a problem for me. But now that I have a son that's depending on me, it's like a whole different feeling. And all you moms, take a toast to it, because I didn't know the feeling of that. And now that I am a mom, my whole world changed, you know, and I definitely understand it. You know what I'm saying? So it's a beautiful thing. Let's talk about balancing love life and, you know, being a new mom. It's a little challenging, but I get used to it. You know, communication is key. Like, talk to your partner. Let them know, like, hey, I'm sorry I'm a little off, you know what I mean? Like, there's times where I had to tell Dre, like, babe, I be forgetting stuff, you know, or I'm a little off. I'm not really feeling this. I'm not feeling myself right now, and things like that. And him and I are friends, so it makes it a lot easier to talk to him. But Dre also could be sometimes hard to talk to when he doesn't want to receive things. So I'm saying this to say that regardless of who your significant other is, just say what the fuck it is you got to say. You know what I mean? Because that way it's out there. It's heard, you know? But you figure it out. I cook every single day in this house. You know what I mean? I clean up this house. I take care of all the things in the home. I still go to work. I'm still a full-time mom. Even when Dre's in here and he's very, very helpful, and I love it. The woman role is still dominant, and it's still different. So don't think just because your man's around that it changes. I have a client, and she's going through a lot as a single woman. And she's like, you know, it would feel good if I have some help. But I had to let her know, like, baby girl, no, the woman of the house is just what it is. The mother of the child is just what it is. So you may envy someone that has the man around, but it doesn't really make enough of a difference. The only difference is that the man's around. And I'm not shy of my man at all, because he's amazing. But it's just exactly what it is. And y'all know what I'm saying. You moms know what I'm saying. It's just what it is. But I figured out a great balance, and Dre and I, we plan our time together. Like yesterday, we put Peace to sleep, and it's like, it's time for us. You know, it's not always sexual. It's just like, let's plan date nights, and let's just, and he's so into it too. You know, that's what's also, I love him so much. Like, but it helps, you know, communication is very, very important. So I've been able to really balance relationship and being a new mom with just communication and just planning little things, and nothing too crazy. Like, we went out of town one time, went to Miami, went to concerts. We do little things, nothing too major, but a lot of our time is spent here in the home. Even if it's a trip to the grocery store together, like, you know, and just watching our shows together, watching Power, we watch Tommy, we watch Bel Air. Like, we have a lot of time where it's just for us, and that's very, very important. So toast my man. He's amazing. They say he do a little this, he do a little that. I'm gonna end this story time, guys. I have a little bit of wine left, and I must mention I was drinking a little bit before this. I'm gonna finish it. My goal was to finish it. Thanks for tuning in. I really wanted to share with you guys these experiences, these flashbacks, and just talking openly about my pregnancy, about my delivery, about my experience so far. And maybe you guys got a little closer to me right now. So you could just really know what I'm going through right now. Hopefully, I hope help some of you new moms and you upcoming moms and just women in general. We're strong, we're beautiful, we're amazing, but we go through it. And birth and becoming a mother is the most amazing, rewarding thing in the whole wide world. But at the same time, it's very challenging. And there's nothing wrong with admitting it, you know. It doesn't make you a bad mom. It doesn't make you less of a person because you're struggling or you're going through it. We all do. So I'm giving my big hugs to all my moms out there, to all my women out there, to all my boss babes out there. Thanks for watching. Again, if you guys new to my page, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and ring that bell. Tune into your girl. One of my goals for the new year was to make sure my nails was done, y'all, and they're not done because they were hurting really bad. I put the microwave on them, but we're going to get back to that. But the other one was to make sure my content is flowing. So I really appreciate everybody that's been supporting my YouTube page and watching me. And, you know, even when I was off for all those weeks from YouTube, from becoming a new mom, everyone was like, where's your videos at? And that made me feel so good and so empowered. So thank you. As always, and Peace is knocked out. Look at him. Look at his feet. Told you. He crosses them. That's my baby. I love him to death. As always, peace and love. Perfect use. You know, my girl Jill down there getting it. You guys can not subscribe to my page. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, ring that bell. Like, comment, and subscribe. Like the like button, subscribe.
Drop a like in the comment section if you like the comments. Drop a comment on the like in the like.
Get your nails ready.
And that's on who? Lemonade Lee.
Period. 30 different nails.
30. You think you got it?
So you probably got money. Thank you. Y'all, when I get every single picture. Yeah. Bye. Do you have